I was actually in a good mood today. My Oregon Ducks won, going to the Sweet 16 for the fourth time in the last 5 years. So, basketball wise, I was happy. And then 9 o'clock Eastern rolls around. Celtics play a pretty good first half, put up 65 points, let up 60. And then the second half came along and overtime came along. And here I am at 11:36 Eastern, and I'm unhappy. That's what the Celtics do to me. That's what the Celtics have done to all fans of the green team all season long. Since Christmas, basically. This team has just disappointed and let us down and underperformed to the point where you have to really go, why am I going into any game at this point with the expectation that the Celtics will win? Because you have to be crazy to think that the Celtics are ever going to be dramatic favorites in a game or ever going to be in a game now where you should say, yeah, they should definitively win this game because they've proven time and time and time and time again that whether it's a good team, bad team, middle team, dregs of the league, the Celtics can and will lose on any given night to anybody who takes the court opposite them. And that showed itself tonight. Listen, I know you didn't have Jason Tatum. He left right before the game with some illness. I hope he's okay. Probably like a stomach thing. Uh, you didn't have Kemba Walker. It was the second night of a back-to-back. You still don't have Tristan Thompson. I'm not even going to mention Romeo Langford because he's not worth mentioning. But despite all of that, you're still playing a Memphis Grizzlies team that you should be better than. Taking all that stuff, the Tatum, the Thompson, the Kemba, the second night of a back-to-back, taking all that into the equation, you still should be better than them. You still should beat them. The Grizzlies had, like, I think 80 points in the paint. That's just unacceptable, unreasonable. And it took Brad Stevens way too long to be reliant on Rob Williams to stop that trend. He didn't start. He wasn't even the first big off the bench. Grant Williams was. Now, Rob ended up playing more minutes than Grant Williams, thank God, because sometimes he doesn't. But why should Grant have been the first big off the bench? If a team like the Grizzlies are content to drive to the basket time and time again, put in a shot blocker. Start the shot blocker. That's what Rob Williams does on defense. And you saw he had a tremendous impact on this game on both ends of the court, but especially defensively. He was active, deflecting shots, blocking shots, getting hands in the passing lane. But it took them too long to figure that out. And by the time they had, Memphis had racked up a ton of points in the paint. In addition to that, the Celtics just offensively went through these like lulls where they had no real plan. There were like two or three Marcus Smart shots that like he stayed on the perimeter, and Marcus Smart's my guy, but like he just jacked up threes with no time left in the shot clock because he stayed in one spot and the team didn't move around, and that's the shot you get. Let's go into the box score of this game as the Celtics drop it 132 to 126. The starters tonight were Ojale, Tice, Teague, Smart, and Brown. I ripped on the Teague start before the game. I figured why not elevate Peyton Pritchard there? Teague doesn't even play. To Brad Stevens' credit, Teague played a terrific game tonight. He was the best player on the court for the Celtics in my mind. So I'll start with him. He had 39 points, 39 minutes, 26 points, 3 turnovers, and 6 assists. 4 of 7 from the free throw line tonight, 2 of 2 from 3, 10 of 12 from the floor. The floater was really going. This looked like Jeff Teague from 8 years ago when he was on the Atlanta Hawks, an all-star version of Jeff Teague. He was tremendous tonight. Really, really great from Jeff Teague. So you wasted the 1 or 2 good Jeff Teague games you'll get this year. Other starters, Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown. Brown played pretty well. He had 27 points to lead the team, though. On a night where you didn't have Jason Tatum, you'd hope he'd be in the mid-30s and carry the load offensively a little bit more. Had an okay shooting night from the floor, not great from 3. So 27 points, 5 assists, 9 boards, 3 of 11 from 3, not good, but 11 of 24 from the rest of the floor. So that's decent shooting there, but he just wasn't cashing in from 3. Marcus Smart has 16 points, 5 assists, 5 rebounds, good overall box score. 3 of 9 from 3, so right around his average, a little below it. But 5 of 14 from the floor is not good. Daniel Tice, 25 minutes, 5 of 12 from the floor, not great. 2 of 2 from 3 though. 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 13 points. Okay, performance from Tice. Shemi Ojale doesn't give you much in his 34 minutes starting again. 8 boards, 6 points, 2 of 3 from 3, 2 of 5 from the floor. The bench was better tonight than it has been. Grant Williams played solid 20 minutes off the bench, 4 of 6 from the floor, 2 of 3 from 3, 3 assists, 2 boards, 10 points. You'd like to see him get those rebound numbers up a little bit, but he's just not that good. So what can you do? Rob Williams continues to be incredibly impressive. 28 minutes, which getting closer to that 30-minute mark, I want to see him hit, but not quite there yet, Brad. 7 of 9 from the floor, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 blocks, 1 steal, and 17 points on and 3 of 6 from the free throw line. Obviously, would like him to be better than 50% free throw shooter, but that's 6 free throws is certainly an improvement in terms of getting the line more. And the 17 points is really good. 4 blocks is outstanding. He changed the game for the better when he was in. It just took them too long to realize that he was the better option in this game than Daniel Tice. Payne Pritchard, 17 minutes, 2 of 6 from the floor. Those were both threes, 2 of 4 from 3, 3 assists, and 6 points. And then Javonte Green got in for 5 minutes and did nothing. So it's not like the Celtics played a horrible game. They just, defensively they were pretty bad, but they didn't adjust well to what Memphis was doing. And it's just another game where you go, why are we losing this? Why did we lose this game? And you kind of leave your head scratching. And it's not like the effort was that bad. It's just like the overall, it just doesn't seem like this team is invested at all in this season, and that they kind of just walk out and go, whatever it is. We win, we lose. It doesn't really matter. In 2 of the 4 quarters, you gave up. In the third, you gave up 34. In the second, you gave up 36. It's just way too many points to be giving up in quarters to a team like the Grizzlies, who's just by no means an offensive juggernaut. And you showed that you're capable in the first, and then in the fourth, you held them to 24 and 23 points respectively. So it's not like the Celtics were incapable of playing decent defense. They just went through stretches where they didn't adjust, or they weren't putting in the effort defensively that you need every single time. And, you give up 132 points. I know there's an overtime, but it's just way too many points to a Nets team a Grizzlies team, rather, that's just not outstanding in any stretch. I mean, I know John Morant's a really fun and exciting player to watch, but, he's not a guy he's not Steph Curry. He's not canning it from everywhere on the floor. You know what he wants to do? Drive to the basket, score in the lane. It's what pretty much everybody in the Grizzlies wants to do. And Celtics weren't able to stop that. So it's another frustrating loss, and, it's a frustrating season. Now we're seeing rumors of the trade deadline, and if the Celtics can improve their team at the deadline, great. But at what cost? And is it all for naught? If the rumor right now is Aaron Gordon coming to Boston from Orlando, maybe Evan Fournier coming along in that deal, and if they're able to get both of those guys and give up minimal assets, I actually think that could go a long way. That could get them out of the first round, and depending on their draw in the second round, it could be competitive. But it's just like, if you're going to give up Marcus Smart for Aaron Gordon, I said this on Twitter, it's like shuffling deck chairs on the Titanic, except for by shuffling, you're alienating everybody on the Titanic. Marcus Smart is a fan favorite here. If you're trading for Aaron Gordon, are you just a 1-for-1 swap? Are you actually getting better? I certainly don't think so. I think Aaron Gordon's a really good fit on this team if you are able to give up a couple first-round picks and like Aaron Nesmith, or preferably Romeo Langford because he's never healthy. I'd do that in a heartbeat. I think that makes the team look a lot different and helps the team. But if you're talking about trading Smart and bringing in Gordon or John Collins or something like that, ultimately those guys may statistically be better, but I don't know that it actually improves the team at all. And so if you're not going to improve the team, what's the point? So we'll see what happens with them. But I mean, right now, it's just the season obviously has been a disaster. They keep losing games to teams that should be inferior talent. But at this point, again, like I started the show saying, you can't go into any game with the expectation anymore the Celtics are going to win. Because on any given night to any given team, they could just drop the ball. So you can't look at the roster and say Tatum, Brown, or even tonight just Brown, Smart, Robert Williams, whatever, going against the Grizzlies will win. You can't do that. And in the past seasons, you've been able to. And that just shows me more that the effort isn't there. The coaching isn't there. The trust in the teammates and the coaching staff in the front office isn't there. And so, I'll continue to be doing all these games, but I feel like I'm going to continue to do the same thing night in, night out, and go when they win, say, they didn't really prove anything. It's great to get a win, but they didn't really right the ship or prove anything. And when they lose, say, well, this is about what I expect, and it should be what everybody expects. So, got a busy week going forward. Couple games against the Bucks back on Wednesday, and we'll see how the Celtics do. But I wouldn't read too much into it one way or the other, because this is at best, average team, and more realistically, a bad team. That's just the truth. Don't shoot the messenger. That's just the truth of it. All right, everybody, remember to like, give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already. Tell your friends and family and fans of the NBA, Celtics, other teams. I don't care. Tell whoever. And I will be back after every Celtics game. So you'll see me on Wednesday. I'm going to go try to forget about this game and revel in the Ducks victory from earlier. All right, see you, everybody.